Hey everybody, we're back with Phil and Marlana for another workforce development education session. I love these little sessions that we do, little tips and tricks, because I think back to like when I was writing my own resumes. I had nobody teaching me how to do a resume. You try to Google it, and it just doesn't work. So I love these sessions. And today we are talking about how to write a job description that does not suck.
Yes. I can't stand it, Phil, looking at a job description. And it's so technical, I don't even know what they're talking about.
Right.
What is going on?
Right.
Come on, employers. We got to do something.
Well, we talked about in the resume video that your resume is really your one chance at a first impression.
Yes.
The employers are looking at your resume. They get the idea of who you are based on that resume. And then sometimes we forget about that the same holds true from the other side, is that from the employer side, that their job description, that's a potential job seeker's first impression of that employer.
Phil, you're on Indeed. You're applying for XYZ company, and you have these great skills. You got this great background, all of this education, and you have a job description full of company jargon that you absolutely don't know what they're talking about. We have all these jobs available. They don't know what you're talking about. This is your handshake to that job seeker. Mm-hmm. This is, again, Phil, you said it, the first impression to the world to say, hey, we're hiring, come work for us. Mm. We talk about, first of all, help me understand what you're hiring for. Let's just be simple. If you're hiring for an administrative assistant, just say you're hiring for an administrative assistant, not a technical administrative assistant that is an assistant to the senior CEO or COO.
Immediately my marketing brain goes on, because in marketing, it's not necessarily about communicating what I want to say. It's about communicating what the people I want to reach need to hear.
Yes. Engage them.
Yeah. And so thinking about your audience, thinking about potential job seekers, if you really, I think one of the first steps to really writing a compelling job description is you have to put your brain in a job seeker's brain. Imagine I am a job seeker and I'm scrolling through a job board, for instance, on heybaycity.com. And what kinds of things do I need to see? What kinds of things do I want to see that say, this is a place that I want to work? What kind of information needs to be there? What's even the voice? Is it very corporate and very professional? Maybe that reaches some. Is it a little bit more casual, a little bit more fun, a little bit unexpected? That can reach completely different people. And so we have to kind of get our brains out of this job description template mode into thinking about who's the kind of employee I want to reach. What is the tone? What is the information that they need?
We just mentioned engaging the job seeker. So be simple. Employers, when you're writing those job descriptions, just simplify what you're talking about. Tell them, hey, I need you to be able to have that knowledge of using Microsoft Office. I just need you to do X, Y, Z. Kind of paint that picture on what the day-to-day job is actually going to be. We talk about those technical terms that are always being used. Well, guess what? That's why you're getting all these technical, really wordy resumes, because they're trying to format that resume according to what's written in that description.
They're trying to match the energy.
Exactly.
Right?
So if that energy is technical, that's what you're going to get. You're not going to get a holistic job seeker applying for that job. Focus on the responsibilities. Just say exactly what is going to be done day to day. Set the expectation up front. Because if you're, as I say, playing around the mulberry bush, running around the mulberry bush, that's what you're going to get. You're going to get individuals applying for the positions that you're hiring for that you really don't want, because you really hadn't clearly expressed what it is you want.
Yeah, and the simplicity that you were talking about earlier, that helps connect with the people that you want to connect with. Because
absolutely.
If I, as an employer, say, well, I want to put 100 different responsibilities on this job description, it's not really clear the kind of person that I'm looking for, because what I see as a job seeker is somebody looking for somebody who can do everything, but it's also super vague. Like,
Yes.
what exactly are they looking for? Somebody creative? Are they looking for somebody with strong interpersonal skills? Like, what exactly am I doing? And then you end up getting a lot of people that aren't the right fit, and you're wondering why.
We want to, on one end, be very simple, and then also express that urgency of this is the type of job that you're actually going to be doing. We need you to be fun. We need you to be energetic. We need you to bring the type of skills that not only you can do the job day to day, but guess what? We also need you to be able to interact with your colleagues and the customers that we're serving.
Yeah. One of the things I want to jump in here, I don't want to make it seem like we're faulting employers. Just like with the resumes with the employee side, you don't know what you don't know.
Exactly.
And writing a job description is a skill in and of itself. And here we are, employers with so much to do, so much responsibilities, so much at stake, so much at risk, that it's really easy, similar to the resume side, to just simply look and say, well, what's the quickest, easiest way to think about this? Okay, I'm just going to list all of the 100 things that I think they need to do,
Yes.
and then I'm going to push it out into the world and hope for the best so that I can go on to my next task. But one of the things that you were talking about earlier, Marlana, was that it doesn't have to just be up to you as the employer. Tap into your employees.
They do the job.
Look at either the current employee that's leaving or the one or two employees that work with that employee, and sit down with them and say, what exactly is it that you guys do every day? Because especially if you're talking about a larger organization, it's really easy over time for that to get lost in the mix. And,
Yes.
responsibilities get added or changed. And then you throw out a job description that isn't accurate, not because you're trying to be dishonest, but just because that's what you thought was happening. And so leverage your employees and be like, hey guys, if you had to write down 10 things that you have to do every single day, the 10 most important things, what were they? And tap in.
That is a great way to get buy-in from the rest of the team, because now you're getting, again, a holistic view of what's really going on. And again, this makes it easier actually on the HR director to say, hey, I don't have to think about this,
Right.
and I don't have to just plug and play.
Right.
This is what's true. And this is, again, going to give the job seeker a good idea of what that culture is about and what that job entails. And you know what? When you're writing a job description, come on, employers, that job description should also kind of match what that pay is, and say that. Let's talk about that. So when you're getting that buy-in from your staff and from your team, then guess what? It helps you think about, maybe I need to also adjust the pay that goes with that. Because if you're saying, hey, this is an HR analyst position and you're only paying $15 an hour, guess what? You're never going to get any applicants. True. All of that goes together as plug and play. So then you actually are getting hopefully some qualified candidates that are actually applying for their job.
I love that you're encouraging the use of this as an opportunity, not just to find a new employee, but also as an opportunity to really take another look at that position. And what is it that I'm asking someone to do? Exactly. What do I absolutely need them to do so they can focus on that, do an outstanding job at that? How else can I divvy up the other responsibilities? It's really an opportunity to sit down and say, is this the position that I want to create as an employer? And if so, that informs finding the best job seeker for that position.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And guess what this does overall for the ROI for the employer? It reduces your time. It saves you money, because guess what? You're cutting out all the in-between all up front. You're getting the buy-in from your staff, so you truly know what you're asking. You're analyzing what you're actually paying. You're giving the information to the job seekers that you are hopefully and hoping to attract. Boom. You're getting the job filled at the end of the day.
It makes everybody's life easier.
Yes.
If you sit down and really consider the job description, just like the resume, as this is the magnet.
Exactly.
This is if I do a good job right here up front, it can save us 10 interviews down the line or 3 months, and then they're in the third round and then they ghost us last minute because we didn't include this information and we caught them off guard and things like that. So it's really an encouragement, I think, on both sides here to do a great job up front right away. It saves everybody time and money and effort and energy, and you find ultimately the best person for that position.
Absolutely. Transparency is key. That would be the note, Phil, if we had to end it today, just being transparent.
I love the transparency emphasis, because say that you do find a great person and they fill that role and then they show up to work and then surprise,
here we go.
This is a completely different job than what I thought it was. And that might not be malicious on the employer side. It just might be overlooked, or you weren't quite aware of what the responsibilities are, or you're on completely different pages because you kind of just threw together a job description and it was interpreted different ways. And so now that really incredible employee that you had is now looking for a job 6 weeks down the road, and now you're back at square one.
Because you weren't being transparent. You were just checking the boxes. If we don't want job seekers to just check the boxes, employers, we can't just check the boxes either.
Right. It's a mutual responsibility, a mutual relationship. If everybody does their absolute best, great resumes, great job descriptions, then we create this wonderful relationship of a great employer and a great employee. Boom, everybody wins.
Everybody wins. And ultimately, our workforce grows and we're actually finding those qualified candidates.
Awesome. And one of the things that I love about Hey Bay City is that, Marlana, you are here. And you are such a valuable resource with all of your experience in the workforce. And something that you've been doing is assisting employers that are coming to you saying, hey, can you help me find somebody? Hey, can you take a look at this? What do you think about this? And so if you are listening to this or watching this or reading this and you're an employer looking for some kind of assistance, please reach out to Hey Bay City. Marlana, how could they reach you if they're like, man, I really just, I want to send her a PDF of my job description, get 3 quick tips. How can they reach you?
You can reach me at marlana@baycityarea.com, at the Bay Area Chamber of Commerce, downtown Bay City, anytime.
Awesome. Always a pleasure, Marlana, to talk to you. Always a pleasure to talk to the community
Thank you,
about
Phil.
how we can kind of level up a little bit and really create an even more beautiful community. Thank you so much for the conversation today.
Thank you, Phil. I enjoyed myself.